Okay, so first up on today, we're gonna have Ganondorf for the first time actually be a character that we critique on here. So Merc, I know I've played your Ganondorf before. It's quite a while. I remember the biggest thing was that you were good at going for a lot of like kind of like the lower level player habit reads. So like air dodge in, drift in, roll in. Those were kind of the habits that you were always like really, really on spot for doing. So basically I just had to constantly tell myself to never do those, and then mostly didn't cover it, but most of the time when you go for those reads, unless like you went for like a high committal smash attack, it kind of was hard to punish you in a lot of those instances, just because I was getting out of disadvantage at those points. But that was kind of the biggest thing. You didn't really mix up that as much. So I know this VOD is about 2 weeks old, 1 week old, 1.5 weeks old. So, very concurrent. Looks like we got Joker here as well. I'm not sure if we're going to have any other ones, though you can obviously tell me. So my interview and Plague will be disappointed in the second match. Okay, that's good to know. But don't worry, we're here to look at disappointments. That's kind of one of the whole reasons why we watch ourselves, is to get over it. There. Okay, now we're ready. Yeah, I guess before we get into it, Ganon versus Joker. I mean, I think it's kind of the standard thing that you do for Ganon, where it's like, of course, it's obviously not a good matchup. Just get like a few hits in. So the good thing is, while Joker does have a lot of range to him, it's not as much as a disjoint from at least a lot of the hitboxes that I've looked at, and it just kind of gets more beefy with Arsene. So basically, he's just going to hopefully like bait you out is what he's looking for, and you're basically going to look out to call out a lot of his actions on coming in. Of course, the annoying thing is he does have a projectile, so he could probably kind of circle camp you for a bit. Not going to get that as much on Kalos at the very least, which... Actually, now that I think about it, why are the... Wait, are you playing on Hazard's Kalos? Oh, Battlefield Kalos. Okay. It just goes blocking that top platform. Okay, so we're on Battlefield. So that whole thing I was going to say does not apply to this. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you were trying to go for as you were running it there. I guess it's going to be a grab. But I feel like a dash attack around 42% actually could have led to a lot of really good scenarios. So it's either that you would have won or you just got in a trade. I like the idea, but obviously it's just a kind of a bit too slow. Like, if you're fighting Joker, I feel like realistically the only two smash attacks you could use are like up smash and down smash, just because those are quick. But like up smash I feel like is a little bit too slow most of the time. There we go. Yeah, I was about to say, just make sure you go off with Nair, because like there's not too much Joker can do to get around that. With Arsene, I think it's even worse. But at least if he has the grappling hook, he can kind of mix up how he's getting around. Had the right idea there. Good coverage there. I'm actually surprised you're able to get that. Okay, so definitely when you get to a position like this, so like they upbeat high, I feel like you had enough time to get this out, but maybe because of the way that he bends, maybe not. Because I was thinking maybe what you could do is like stomp through the platform and get him, but I didn't take into consideration that crouch. That's going to be kind of hard to lab out, just because you need the timings to be very specific for that. Let me see. When does he start moving? Oh, so you are rising that entire time, so maybe it just wouldn't work. At worst, you could have just dropped down, jump, and then like flame choked him, and then he was at 69, yeah, so you could have gotten a really nice sequence off of that. So I would just make sure you play a little bit more with the mind of what they would be going for. Wispe with the 2 tier 1 subs. Oh, thanks, Wispe. How nice of you. Coming in clutch with that. So that means we are actually at 4 subs. That's the other thing, too. If we get 6 subs, I will finally do my Duck Hunt matchup for chart. So thanks for that, Wispe. I have to come through for your stream at some point when you do that again. And I don't know if you've shown off your box yet, but Wispe has a super, super dope Smash box that you got art with Yakasage. Yeah, I think that's the name. Definitely should know it. Duck Hunt is featured on that artwork too, so shout outs to that. But yeah, keep in mind that like whenever Joker up Bs, his drift off of this is really, really low. Like he cannot move far. So like even here, actually, you might have been able to just drop down, jump, and then maybe nair him. But I'd probably just like drop down, jump on, and then like maybe get like a grab or something. Because you definitely had enough time to just drop down, jump, and then do something. And I think that would have been your better option there. Go for an aerial. Well, he can't go for an aerial off. He can't go for an aerial off of the up B. Like he's just like stuck in that. So like his only options there was to either. Actually, was he trying to land on the platform? That's one thing I can't tell. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, like to me, so he did do a fast fall there. So he might have been trying. I think he was actually trying to go through the platform to mix it up there. Yeah, because if he did land on the platform, yeah, your fair probably would have hit him then. So that would have worked. But just like the fact that you can just react a lot better by doing like the drop down jump. And if he did land there, you could have like just jump naired. Yeah, I would have done jump nair there, or probably jump up air would have both worked in that scenario. So just drop down jump is just your most optimal way to cover whatever option he goes for if he lands on stage, because he lands with a decent amount of lag. Like, let me check. Should have the special landing lag on here. It's not on here. It's gonna be a little upsetting. Let's see, Arsene up B. God, Guns adds so many different like frame data things to him. Yeah, so he lands with 30 frames of landing lag. So you have like all the time in the world to just get like one form of Ganon's punish on there. I guess we saw him up B in reaction. I mean, you could just have all the time in the world to react to him there. Like the second he up B's, he's just stuck. Man, he was ready for that. You could attack that one at the very least, but it's online. Okay. So, I really don't like what you just did there. Kind of a small thing, but it's kind of big. So, just doing like a full jump over here. So you're making the distance that you have to like get back and land a lot longer there. You know, you would get like the full power if you did hit that. But like I think just like short hop covering that distance there. So then that way you just kind of throw it out there. It's just to like, okay, you're not going to get hit by this, but you're going to be somewhere else where I could get like a bigger punish. Yeah, because like if you did like 2 short hops there, like I think you might have been able to cover that. Oh, man, I was hoping you were going to be ready for the dunk. Oh, that's depressing. Oh, he got juked. Yeah, see, like, something like that, all you have to do is just cover this area here. So you could have done, like, down tilt, F tilt. What are your best moves to cover that? Probably F tilt would have been the best one, because F smash would have taken forever. Unless you had if you had F smash ready, you could have done it. But it's just slow. Even like dash attack would have been good, but probably would have gone for a down tilt. Yeah, you just kind of throw it out with like the idea that like they're gonna jump or like try to challenge it by coming down fast falling aggressive with an aerial when you do like the short hop up airs. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you can just kind of throw out hitboxes, like, just sort of around him. There's not... You just have to respect it and find the right time to go in and punish you. And, of course, he can pelt you with, like, gun and I forget the name of side B. Well, what's the name of side B? It's, I'm actually really mad I forgot this. Aga. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like at that point, like when you have just like the stage control and everything, just like cover his options well. Stay underneath the platform so like the way that he can harass you is severely diminished. And like basically he can just sort of do horizontals and whatnot. But you know, he has to get in and he has to approach you to like kill you for the most part, unless he's got Arsene Aga. That's the only time. Like at no point should you really give up your advantage for that. And the other thing too you always got to remember is as Ganondorf, if you see an attack coming towards you, unless it's a disjoint, don't be scared to hit it, just because like 9 out of 10 times you're always going to win that trade. So that's always something that you got to keep in mind with them. Yeah, also against Joker specifically, when you're playing like on like Battlefield or something like that, they tend to just go for like up B. So when you do aerials, especially Nair, I think Nair's probably like the worst one you can do. Because like basically, to give you an idea what you're doing here, you're just extending your hurt box horizontally, and it makes it much easier for his grappling hook to get you. So if anything, you're making it easier for him to combo extend against you. So what you want to do in those cases is air dodge is like realistically the only way you can get around it. But you could also do like an up air to like kind of move yourself, to kind of like manipulate your hurt box in a way that might benefit you a little bit more. Let's kind of break it down frame by frame. So, you know, so these are the things that you can do. So if you do Nair, you got like this long thing here. That's no good. Fair, you got this long thing here. Like he kind of stretches himself out horizontally. This is a very nice thing for the hook to grab. This one's all right. While you're still kind of extending yourself out, this one's a little bit more vertical compared to neutral air and forward air. And also, Dark Prince, thanks for the follow. A little bit better. But if you do up air instead, like first of all, like his hurt box is shifting up, so it's kind of moving away from where the grapple hook would be. So it might just like miss in a scenario like that. And then he goes into this vertical thing and he kind of puts himself in a ball. So like in this one, he's just like a lot more scrunched up. So if you're going to try to avoid the grappling hook and you don't want to air dodge, up air is probably your go-to one. Or you could do down air as well. Because down air, he at least does this at first. And let me see. Joker's grappling hook is active for... Is it active for 1 frame? Okay, so grappling hook is active from frame 20 to 26, but if he does it in the air, it's only active on frame 5. That's really weird. So you actually have a lot to play with there. Yeah. Hello, Dark Prince. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like me when I'm playing K-Rool and like I want to like mash Nair because generally a lot of people like to be aggressive against him, and especially like against Ganondorf, as I mentioned, like just getting those trades in general is like good. But yeah, like against Joker specifically, you kind of have to tell yourself to like do aerials that are going to manipulate your hurt box in a way that makes it harder. Like when you play K-Rool, there's not really much you can do. You can just air dodge. You can up air, but your feet kind of extend down too, so that doesn't always work either. You're just kind of big. Whereas at least Ganondorf, he's like human size, so he can at least do something micro that could make all the difference between getting that combo extended and just being able to somewhat land, because he can react pretty he can act pretty fast out of grappling hook. Also, like, kind of just showing off, like, more, like, hitbox, hurtbox things right here. Because, like, I think with the way that these two would have interacted... You went for an up air? Oh, wow. I didn't even catch that. I thought you went for an air first. Yeah, like, I think if you ran off Naird, I think you would have hit him. Just because, like, Nair is severely disjointed on the bottom, if you look at it. Like, you have all of this, so I think you might have just straight out won against it if you decided to go for runoff Nair in that case. So always consider that. Like, that's the thing that I always remember about Nair is because of how disjointed it is below his legs, you can beat up most hitboxes, recoveries with a hitbox. Yeah. Like, in most cases, like, fast falling with Nair is really good for combo breaking. It's just that in, like, this specific matchup, you kind of have to think about that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, the one thing with Ganondorf you should always remember is that, like, his vertical reach is pretty good with his recovery. So if you know someone's gonna, like, come down, just, like, kind of throw out that up air first and then just jump an up B. You don't want to burning your jump is always gonna be a death sentence. Also, in a case like here, just kind of like more micro decisions. So when he's doing this, generally speaking, most of the time people are gonna like pressure you with like more up airs, or if not, they'll go. Joker has a really good up tilt and he's got a really good up smash too. I would go for the stomp punish here. So that way, if you hit him with that, you'd probably be able to confirm that into one of your smash attacks, or if not, you'd be able to confirm that into a fair. And like stomp to fair, that might put him at a percentage where he would die. So just think about like what you can do to like get the best possible punish. Because like if you just hit him with a fair, I don't think he's gonna die just yet. He's just gonna go off stage. But like Dare with the fair combined plus where his hurt box is during all of this, it puts him just closer to like the top blast zones and all that, depending on how he DI. So it would just work out slightly better for you in that respect. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing you have to think about too is like if you trade. So like if your Dare happens to trade with one of the multi hits, like you still probably would get your full maximum punish off of that, because like the multi hits really aren't a threat. The only one is like that final hit might like launch you away. But with the way that the percentages are, if you got hit with the strong hit and you traded your down air with that, then you probably would be able to jump and up air him with that too. So always keep that in mind with like certain trades too. Let me see. How did that miss? So I'm not entirely sure. Wait, what? Oh, don't tell me he Z-axis you. Oh, no. No. Okay. No, like his legs are right here. His legs are right here. Oh my. Hold up. No, we don't want to look at Joker. We want to look at Ganondorf real quick. Let's see. Let me look at his fair again. So I don't know when the active frame ends. Okay. So that's that frame. And it's still active after. So, yeah, Joker definitely like did some type of Z-axis on you or something along the lines of that. Because yeah, that's still an active hitbox. No, in that case, like, no, he's Z-axis. He must have Z-axis there, because like, there's no way his legs are right there. Your fist is right there, and like that did not hit him unless like his legs just like crunched up all the way instantaneously. It's so hard. It's so hard to tell with how many particle effects there are. Oh god, that's infuriating though. Yeah, so at this point, when you're... So at this point, like when you're right next to Joker, you kind of don't want to run into him. You want him to like... In this range, what I would do is just like jump here and throw out a hitbox. So then that way he's more likely to kind of like run into me. And like, I'm not approaching him. Like you want to make it, you want to like kind of like, you want to bait him more into coming into you rather than put yourself in like in a more precarious situation. Nice. There we go. I thought you were going to get the F smash out. Okay, good coverage there. Okay, good use of the top platform. Ah, okay. Yeah, so crack options are not bad to do. But I will say this, at least particularly about the Joker matchup. Joker's always going to be in the air, so the chances of your wizard kick actually hitting him are fairly low. And the one time that it's all right is like when you use it with the ledge cancel, so then that way it's like you can do another action. So it's kind of like you're more baiting them to come after you and then just hit them afterwards. But there's a lot of people that are kind of familiar with that technique, so you have to mix that up very well. Yeah, you probably got macroed there. With online, like it's just so much easier to get that. Oh, okay. I thought you were about to get hit there. Yeah, from what I know about Ganon, you generally want to use like your directional air dodge first. So then that way it's like you can get in there. Especially since, what percent were you at? You were at 78. Yeah, so if you did a directional air dodge in, he hits you with a back air, you should be able to like jump back with like your own aerial and then still be able to up B and make it back. Because I feel like it, because like I don't think his back air is strong enough to send you far away where you just die. Yeah. I mean, honestly, he can technically react to any option that you would do there. So there's not really a correct answer. It's just going in can get you the strongest punish. It's easiest for him to react to. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was the main thing there. The other thing too is like this Joker is approaching you every single time, and like you kind of know that. Like you always do that at the beginning. Like you don't approach him when he comes to you. So kind of play more into that. So then that way you can just put out like your strong meaty hitboxes because they take a little bit longer to come out, and then that way just have him charge at you. It's Zard. So yeah, no, I think that'd be a good thing to do. All the Persona fans trying to run away from the direct. Yeah, so that right there, it's little micro decisions like that will make all the difference. So right here, you just stay in this spot. You control this spot, because like if you run after Joker, you're not catching him. You have to have him come to you. See, like here, what you want to do is like you just like want to like just kind of turn around and then like nair and just cover this area. So Like, I think if you did... Let me just check exactly how high that nair goes. Yeah. So, like, if you just turned around and, like, naired right here, you would have had the platform covered. And, like, you would have covered basically the entire thing if you naired, like, right in this spot right here where you landed. And if you just fast felled, you would have, like, covered him, like, coming down and all that stuff. And you should have had, like, more than enough time to get, like, an F tilt or a jab out if he did, like, another thing. And if he was landing on the platform and you missed, you would have been able to, like, up air in that whole situation, too. But, like, because you decided to move forward and all that stuff, you put your back to the ledge and everything. He's got center stage now, and if you're going to rush into him, he can dash back, wait for your attack, and then come back and hit you. Good call out. That's also one thing I was going to say. Have you ever... Exactly, yeah. Have you ever... Wait, there's the first matchup. Okay, yeah. Have you ever tried practicing ledge camping Ganondorf? Because ledge camping Ganondorf is really good. Like, there's some characters that, like, legit just have a really, really hard time dealing with that. You're like, the way that you have, like, the up B's part come out. Obviously, now that he has, like, the counter and all that stuff, I wouldn't risk it. I don't know if he's smart enough to do that, though. But, like, there's a lot of characters that they kind of, like, have a really hard time dealing with that. So ledge camping to Ganondorf, like, his hurt box is just so low below the ledge that it's really hard for, like, opponents to just, like, come in and just, like, mess with it. Because basically what happens is, like, they'll just wait here, and then if you see them go down, you can drop down, jump, and up air, then, like, up B back, and then, like, you can even have, like, the hitbox come out. So once the hitbox hits their shield, you can basically do a ledge option to get back for free if they try to go off and hit you. But if obviously they can just, like, wait and react. And I think you can only grab the ledge 5 times before you can no longer grab it anymore. But, like, it's really, really hard for pretty much any character to challenge Ganondorf, because, like, a lot of hitboxes from up here just cannot hit him just because of how low his ledge hang is and, like, how slim he is on the ledge too. Like, I had a friend that was in Ganondorf. His name was Bob Robb. He was also known as Tower Knight way back in the day. And yeah, he was really, really good with, like, ledge camping Ganondorf back at Smash 4. And I know the same things still apply here. Yeah. I don't know if he's able to do this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the percent was low enough. You could get the uppercut hitbox and then, like, jump up and, like, up air them too. So you could do so many cheesy things with it. And then, of course, you could always do the classic like, jump back, flame choke them down all the way as well. And then if they come down deep, you can drop down, and then you can do, like, reverse dark dive as well to grab them too. So you have, like, a couple of ways that you can mix it up there. I would honestly... It's hard to practice it on Wi-Fi for the fact that you do need good reaction times to do it, but it's really good to practice it on, like, Wi-Fi gyms, because it's like they'll have the most predictable habits, so that way it's kind of easy to, like, do that. So Zard, right now, unfortunately, my queue is full, so I won't be accepting any more matches for today, but as always, you know, you can send them to me on Twitter or on the Duck Hunt Discord and Critique Cabin. It's always going to be the easiest way to do it. But yeah, no, I would just say practice doing it for 2 reasons. Like, one, like, your reactions will get better, and, like, your reading and understanding of your opponent has to get better too. And 2, you'll be more comfortable off stage, which means you're more comfortable just putting yourself in danger, and you have to have way more trust in your inputs at that point too. So I'd say it's a really good thing to practice just to improve yourself as a player on those 2 aspects alone. Yeah, you had the right idea there to call out, like, the fair, but just a little late on the reactions, and you're a little bit too far away. Ooh, no. Yeah, I always feel like the best thing that you can do with Ganondorf is fast fall fair. Fast fall nair. And, like, two big reasons for that. I mean, first of all, sending them at the angle that Nair does is better than the up air angle. And also you're falling down with it. Like falling down with up air is kind of weird. Because like that's a hitbox that's going above you as you're going down. And also the active frames on Nair is completely ridiculous. So, you know, first of all, you get more horizontal range off of this, but you're also like severely destroying like above and below. Not as much on the first hit, but that second hit, just like, look at that hitbox. That's like so hard to challenge. Not to mention there is no hurtbox on his foot there. So like this entire thing from this point out is basically like a giant, it's kind of like a bigger version of Meta Knight's sword out here. And it's definitely a lot bigger here. Like think about like having Mach Tornado just like put on like the middle of your foot. That's kind of what you got right here. Like this thing's gigantic. Yeah, it's double digits. So hit 1 is active from frame 7 to 12. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So that you got like 5 frames on that. And then here you have 19 frames, I think. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so you got 10 frames on that actually. So like in total, you've got 16 frames. And if they get hit by hit 1, they get hit by hit 2. And there's like a 5 frame gap. But if you fast fall with Nair, like you will just like collide with everything. And then if you catch them, they die. And you can still jump back and up B and make it back to stage safely. It's just that thing is so hard to challenge. And it kills ridiculously early. So absolutely no reason why not to do it. Yeah, so like when he's falling down with bullets, I think he's like right around here. Yeah, so right around here. Yeah, no, it's just kind of best to stay under here. So then that way you're not putting yourself in the corner again. And if he does happen to come into you, like he's like drifting in, then you can jump in fair because of the way that he manipulates the hurtbox. Like he goes back a little bit and then lunges forward. So like that's the perfect type of hitbox to just like compete with this. Where if you go for Nair, you're just kind of stretching yourself out there naturally. So it'd be a little bit easier for him to catch you. But like now if you look at like what he's done there, like he's just kind of created like a really good space for him there. And then he's going to land with like almost no landing lag too. And not to mention being underneath that center platform, that means you still have the coverage of the center platform itself, so he can't exactly hit you under there. Yeah, I mean, see there, like, you threw out Nair so early, but you're still going to catch him. Like, Nair's so good. Yeah, like there, that would have been a pretty good place to Nair. Yeah, you also do need to watch where your opponent is. Like, it looks like you're a little bit slow with picking up on exactly where they are. That was a good recovery. I feel really bad for that Joker player. It's always the best when you get like the most crackhead option to work. Yeah, I'm with him on that one. Let's go and get his laugh. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I love that he actually managed to get the grab on you too. Like that's what kind of tops it off. Like that's so weird. Wait, did he just do standard get up? Or did he roll? Okay, so that was standard get up. It almost looked like a roll. God, his hurt box shift is weird. So he did standard get up into grab. And he actually did grab you somehow. That's actually a very cursed. That is a very, very, very cursed kill screen right there. Oh my god, I look so dumb. I love that you got that. Yeah, so yeah, so overall, you know, like if you were fighting a better Joker, a lot of these really small decisions I think would like cost you the game or the set for the most part. But you know, you only need to get so many hits in to like really close it out there. And like definitely the biggest, most important thing about fighting Joker is that you just need to have control of the stage, and that should be your number one priority. Like you're never going to be able to rush down Joker. You can only like cover areas that he can go in and like guess what he's going to do. Like if you have a super strong feeling like 100% I'm going to go for this and I know he's going to get hit no matter what, then, you know, if you're confident in your read, which you need to be with heavies, especially like a player, like a character like Ganon, then it's like, okay, go for it. But make sure like your evidence for going for these things are more founded upon. Don't just swing in an area because he was there. But the thing you always need to keep in mind is that he was there. He won't be there. He was there. So with a character as mobile as Joker is, like he's going to be just jumping around constantly. So it's like you generally want to be covering like a lot of like short hop areas and all that stuff. You want to be covering the platforms because you'll be like maneuvering around those a lot. And you just want to make sure you can keep yourself as mobile as possible. And then like when you like if you see him like falling down with like a fair or something like that and you're underneath the platform, then that's when you can go for like your up smashes and things like that. Yeah. So like those are the things that you really need to work on. Also, you know, get used to just using Nair a little bit off stage a little bit more because like it's just by far his strongest tool, and it's just the hardest to trade with. Like even if you're looking just between Nair and up air, like if you just look at hitbox 2, which is the only thing you really need to do is just like if you just like look at this and then like even that, and you have to keep in mind like this part of the foot's disjointed, and then you look at this. Like this one, like still pretty good and all that stuff, but it's only going to be in front of you for like 5 frames versus just like 10 that he has with the other one. Yeah, so that's what you need to, yeah, like what exactly what Wisdom said is exactly what you need to do. Like you need to cover the areas that you think that they want to be. And the other thing that you can do as well, a little bit harder against Joker just because of how fast he is like focus on an area that it's like, okay, you're not going to go here and I'm going to throw this hitbox out just so you can't go there. And I'm going to punish in the exact area that you land. Like, let's say like I'm going to up air and like cover this one area. I know you like to jump and like land with like fair or something like that. So it's like I can jump up air, see you do that. And like maybe I might be able to get something like a wizard kick to do it depending on what the spacing is and all that, or like I can close the distance to just like make it even scarier, and then like I could throw out my aerials to like preemptively like cover like a jump and then like fast follow it to like respond to you closing in as well. Nair's very reliable with connecting. Like I wouldn't be too worried about that. You just throw it out there and it just kind of works. But yeah, is there any other questions that you got? I imagine Plague can like fill you in a lot more like Joker specific details because she's labbed out that character way more than me. But yeah, I mean, you know, you basically just got to outplay that. There's like nothing on paper that you really win with this. You lose because of that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you expect it not to work, fast fall nair and then like jump up air immediately to cover yourself, and then you can just up be back. I don't know exactly what the hit stun is off of nair one, but it's like you'd have to be ready for that. Rainstorm? Just got to be the side stem. If you dealt with cloud down air, that's kind of the way that I always deal with that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, like if like in the scenario that you had before, you were controlling center stage and he was coming in towards you. So you could have definitely been like you were underneath a platform, so he couldn't come in from above and hit you. So you very clearly like had a plan where you could jump and put yourself and hit him if he did try to come in. And because of like the relatively low lag that you have on like all your aerials, you could have just thrown that out and then just like landed, and you would have been able to basically cover yourself too. Why would you ever use up? What? Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever mentioned using up tilt as Ganon. That's something that just doesn't work. Sometimes to force the reset. Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Because like you can only extend your combos so far, so you get your hits in, and then like you just focus on controlling ground, and then when you force him into an area where you know you can cover his recovery, then you just go down with Nair. Oh god, up till 2 frame is hard. Like Joker has enough. Like Joker's recovery is so good that he could mix up his timing on that very easily and get around it. I would not even bother with that. The other thing too is like if you want to, do you know if you do you want the best way to recover to like 2 frame? If you want to know how to like cover in 2 frame, literally every single character in the game, it's Nair. Nair's perfect for that. You have like 10 active frames on this thing, and you can just linger there, and it will hit them because this move is disjointed like crazy. Fair too. Fair you can do. You can do fair and back air. But like fair is only active for 5 frames. And back air is only active for 3 frames. This thing is active for much, 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 much longer. Fair is great, but this is reliable because this has just way more frames. Way, 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 way more frames to cover everything. Like if there's anything off stage, like Nair's like your best friend on every single occasion. Yeah, no, fair is just like Nair is just like so reliable, especially against like tether recoveries. Like if you can just jump and Nair and like just go in the line where they have to like snap back in. And the cool thing about like Nair in particular in this case is you don't need to fast fall it. Like you just jump and you just like kind of Nair in like that whole like ledge area, and you'll cover you'll cover basically every single tether that way. The only thing they can do to get around it is if like they decide to like hold there. But at that point, if you can see that they're not auto snapping, you can fast fall it to hit them too because that move is just so active. Like it's ridiculously active. So it won't be perfect because some tethers are super long, but like you'll catch them more than likely than not. Yeah. And all right.